Hi guys, we are back outside Honda Doble Motorcycles, and today we have something a little bit special for you. A brand spanking new Africa Twin 2025 model, well, with the 2024 updates. And what I love about this bike is it's totally standard bottom spec bike, only with a quick shifter. This may be the thinking man's Africa Twin. So yeah, I've been excited to get on this bike. It is brand spanking new, absolutely brand spanks, which is nice. So yeah, we've got all the usual gubbins that we'd expect. So bit of changes here. So we can change the screen height here, but we have to use both hands. So yeah, you'd have to pull over for that, which is a bit of a faff. But the screen is touchscreen, which is nice. So you've got this sort of rally raid type screen setup that we're used to pretty much now with all the Hondas. So yeah, it's usual switch gear on the side here. Quite a bit going on, but as I keep saying to anyone, well, once you know, you know. So I'm not going to go into, oh, well, it's quite difficult. Well, we all know it's not the simplest of systems until you know how to use it. So, but we'll have a bit of a fudge around with that today. As I say, this bike only has quick shifter. So yeah, we haven't got electronic suspension, no DCT. I mean, you might remember a video I did recently of my first ride of a DCT bike, which was an Africa Twin. But that was a 2020 model, or no, it was a 2020 model. So yeah, it hadn't had these upgrades that this bike has had. So what upgrades have they had for 2024? Very interesting question, Ben. Well, let me tell you. 7% more torque, which is nice. I mean, it was a talky beast anyway. The front screen and all that sort of good stuff has all been updated as well. I mean, front as in fairing, I mean, not screen as in screen here, but I mean actually the fairing has been updated, which is nice. And now they're tubeless tyres, which anybody who does any type of off-roading at all will tell you this is a bit of a must, really. So you can repair your tyre yourself if you're out on the trails, or you're just out on the road. I've got one of those repair kits. These sort of rubber repair kits that you just, you know, if you get a hole in your tyre, you can sort of push through another bit of rubber through the tyre and it blocks up the hole for the time being, which obviously if you've got an inner tube you can't do that. So yeah, that's a big plus point. I like the way the spokes on these wheels actually go all the way out to the end of the rims like they do on a GS. I think that's cool looking. So yeah, it's just nice to have a totally standard bike apart from quick shift, because as we all know, bikes are not the cheapest nowadays. This is around about £13,200 ish, around that sort of figure, and then the quick shift is an extra £250, which is a no-brainer. I love the quick shifter on Hondas. So the great thing about this bike as well, not the Africa Twin I mean, is the seat height they've got different options, different seat heights. So if you're a little bit shorter in the leg, I think you can go down to about 825mm, all the way up to around about 870mm, I think. So yeah, you're catered well for. If you're a little bit sort of shorter on the inside of the leg, then yeah, you won't be going wanting or on your tippy toes. I really like this in black colour as well. Obviously the Adventure Sport ES version, which has the 19-inch front wheel, this obviously has the 21. That's more sort of your more touring variety bike, you know, if you're doing sort of long miles, and you know, and you can spec that bike with all types of, you know, road-based tyres, where this is, if you want to do a little bit of green laning or do some off-roading, then you can. The brakes are phenomenal actually. Yeah, then you can. So this is the one to have if you want to do a little bit of, you know, off-roading or all that good stuff, or if you're sort of focusing more on the touring side, then the ES is probably the one for you, but it is quite a bit more expensive. And you know what, I was thinking about this last night. It's quite rare actually, the two bikes obviously being very similar, the ES and this, I would spec them totally differently. The bike I'm riding today, I would pretty much spec as it is now. I mean, I could be tempted to go electronic suspension, but I could also just be tempted just to keep with the standard and just have the quick shifter. So it's very possible I would spec the bike like this anyway. But if I was having the ES, I would probably go bells, whistles, kitchen sink. I would have the DCT, I would have the electronic suspension, I would have all that, which, to be honest, I mean, it's a bit of, I think 99.9% of people will anyway, especially the electronic suspension. I think that will actually may even come standard just with the ES. I'll have to check that out, but yeah, there's so many configurations. Jay and I from Dobles were just going through the spec list of the bike. I mean, I went through it yesterday on my own, and yeah, it sort of asked more questions than it answered. So yeah, Jay had luckily had a cheat sheet, so we went through it. So I mean, you can spec this bike, manual bike, non-ES with electronic suspension and a manual. So there's so many configurations you can do, but I mean, we'd be here all day if we were just going to discuss a config of these Africa Twins. But what's got me excited about this bike? Well, as I say, I rode the DCT version a couple of weeks ago, which was, as I say, a 2020 model. This is supposed to have a little bit more torque, 7% more torque, as we've already said. And can I feel that torque? It is a torquey bike. So housekeeping. So weight, it's around about 240 kilos. Horsepower, just over 100, between, I think it's around about 102 horsepower and 112 Newton meters of torque. Which, to be honest, when I was riding the DCT bike, I actually took that on the motorway and I wasn't wanting for oomph. So we're going to take this up towards Surrey Hills way today. Got some nice roads that way. It's nice to ride a manual Africa Twin as well. Again, the seat's a little firm. That's a Honda thing, right? I mean, they love a firm seat, Honda. But if we were doing a little bit of green laning, we'd be standing up right about now. So let's stand up and see how we feel on the bike when we're standing up. Oh yeah, it's really comfy. If I was doing a little bit of enduro style, feeling a little bit like Charlie Borman, doing a little bit of Dakar Rally, yeah, it's perfectly comfortable. Because my KTM, I had to put bar risers on to give it that little bit of extra height for off-road, and I don't need it on this, which is nice. The bars are high enough. It's just got torque in every gear. I was in fourth there, really down the revs, and it just picked up. What we do is have a bit of a ride, and then we'll have a good walk around. As you know, I like to get on the bike first and then worry about the walk around after. What I absolutely love about the Africa Twin is it really punches above its weight. People compare this to, you know, a GS. You know, we've got to remember, a GS is, a well-spec GS Adventure now is like late 20s, getting on towards the, you know, into the 30s if you really go overboard and spec. So it's great that people really do still sort of put this in the same ballpark, when in fairness it really isn't. You know, the F900 and, you know, and the Triumph Tiger and all that sort of stuff are more in this, but as I say, it tends to punch above its weight a bit. I mean, that new GS that's come out now is enormous. It reminds me of one of those, you know, the Bodies exhibition by Dr. Von Hagen, where he sort of cuts animals in half. It looks like an elephant that's cut in half and they've strapped two wheels on it. It's massive and, yeah, just a little bit ungainly looking, and weighs an absolute ton. I think that's getting on for like 280 kilos or something. I mean, who's taking that off-road? Not me, that's for sure. So this bike has all the nice accoutrements of traction control, anti-wheelie, cruise control, obviously ABS. So yeah, it's got all the nice bits and bobs on the bike, but it still feels like you're on like an enduro style bike. It doesn't feel like, I had a Triumph Tiger recently and I rode that, and that was, the seat was so wide on it and the panniers were so heavy once they had some stuff in it. It was just sort of ungainly, and yeah, it didn't really feel adventurous, where this to me still feels a little bit, you know, or a lot sort of enduro-esque, which I like. So I'm in fourth gear now and I'm really down there around about 2,000 revs, and it's just tractoring along. then when you do blip the throttle, it then does pick up with no hesitation. So yeah, it really is a little bit of a torque monster, which is great. Considering it's only 102 horsepower or whatever it is, it's, you know, it really does. I mean, we're going for that old cliche, you don't need any more. Well, you don't. Anyone who's done any enduro, any off-roading will tell you, you do not need tons and tons of power. Because all that equates to is loss of grip. But let's be honest, how many people are going to do some real sort of enduro-esque stuff on this bike? I think we're just going back to the old, you know, having a Land Rover, Range Rover and all that good stuff. Only people are actually going off-road on them. We like them because they look cool, right? But there are quite a few of us who, you know, do go across, you know, on trips and whatever else, and, you know, we do a bit of green laning, even if it isn't sort of extreme stuff. Let's be honest, how many of us are going to want to actually risk damage our extremely expensive motorcycles going off-road? So yeah, there wasn't major updates for 2024 for the Africa Twin, but enough to make a difference. Oh, McLaren, very nice. Oh my word, look at him get out of that. Jeez. I don't think he's going to look like a panty dropper getting out of it like that. There was a, oh, my back, as he got out of it as well. So that's the problem. You get to that sort of age where you've actually made the money, you can own a McLaren. You can't get in and out of it. Should have bought an Africa Twin, mate. Saved yourself £175,000. And he could have got the low seat as well. So you've got a USB connector there, which is handy. Always nice to have a bit of power on demand. So yeah, that screen is touchscreen, but to be honest, I don't think you're going to be really using a touchscreen function when you're riding along. You'll be using the buttons I have here, which there's the enter button there, and there's like your mouse scroll button. So as you can see, I'm favouring around with it. So any of you into your golf, you may recognise this golf course here. Very prestigious golf course called Walton Heath. Absolutely stunning golf course. Incredible. Right, nice being on the manual bike, because the gear shift change on this is really Winchester rifle-esque, which is nice. It's not clumsy. I've had so many clumsy gear changes bikes recently. In fairness, they're not Hondas, but yeah, they've been a BMW, which has been a bit disappointing. Quick shift. Oh, but 250 quid, it's a no-brainer. You're getting the manual bottom spec bike, get the quick shift. I think this may be the gem of the range. I think this could really be the thinking man's Africa Twin. Yeah, obviously the catalogue for parts of this bike are long and distinguished. You know, panniers and all sorts of guards. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with like Touratech as well. They do 1,000,001. I'll go this way. 1,000,001 options for your Africa Twin, or any bike for that matter. It's amazing the amount of bikes I see absolutely draped in Touratech and whatever else, but never actually use the bike off-road, or they've got like 2,000 miles on them in like 8 years. They spend thousands on fog lights, but then don't take the bike anywhere. I mean, it looks cool sitting in your garage, I suppose, but I like to see bikes like this a little bit battered, you know, covered in rubbish and dirt, but still looked after and loved and serviced to an inch of their lives, but used. I mean, it's all great having it all shiny and whatever else, and having your enduro boots on that are like brand spanking new still, with all your climb gear and all that good stuff. But yeah, I like to see someone actually use their bike and really, you know, as I said earlier on, I think the problem is because it's so expensive now, people are worried about resale value and whatever else. The suspension's really good, even just this Bogo standard. Watch this person here. Is that a caravan park? A bit too close to Croydon to go on holiday, I think. That's just my opinion. I would like this seat to be a bit softer. That's my only real gripe at the moment, which seems to be a Honda thing in general. So is there anything else I don't like? Well, I think having to move the screen with both hands is a bit of a pain. And again, I think the switchgear could be a little bit more user-friendly. The UI experience could be a little bit more slick. But again, as I've always said on these videos, you get used to it, right? You know what you need to do after a while. So I mean, that's part of the fun of a new bike, is getting used to it, I suppose. You know, what's the likelihood you want to jump on any bike and know exactly where everything is? I mean, in fairness to the BMWs, the UI on those bikes is pretty good. But then again, you are spending, you know, well, I'm talking about GSs here. I'm not comparing it to the F900. I haven't ridden that bike, but I would like to. So this is a real sort of cracked, decrepit road, and on this standard suspension it feels great. I'm taking you to some lovely roads today. I don't want anybody getting above their station now. I'm taking them out of Croydon. I'd love to do a trip to France. I'd love just to jump on the tunnel right now. I'd love to do that. Jump on the tunnel and just, yeah, I don't know, where would I go? Oh, you know what? I think I might just go Saint Malo or something. Because it's amazing, the great roads you get, as soon as you come off of, people don't seem to know this, or maybe they do, but every time I've spoken to people, when you come out of Calais, you don't need to ride for, you know, hundreds of miles before you start getting good roads. You can literally come out of Calais, you can go right at that first roundabout, keep following it round, and you've got amazing roads just straight off the bat. Look at that, guys, look at that. Oh my lord. Yes, you're up Box Hill way. Oh my word, that is stunning. How fantastic. I'm glad I get to show you this sort of stuff on lovely bikes like this. So yeah, if you could like and please subscribe. I don't normally ask during the video, but someone told me that I should, because it's apparently it's better for more subscribers. So yeah, I'm trying to reach a goal of 1,000 guys. So yeah, if you could, it really does help me out, and you wouldn't believe how often I check it as well, like an absolute nerd, I'll be honest. I get so excited when I just get the one, and if I sort of wake up in the morning and I check and I've had 3 or 4 more, it's the little things in life, guys. I tell you what, it really is. Because all it says to me is that there's interest in these sort of videos that I'm doing, and I've had such lovely comments. The people I get on my videos, I'm very lucky to have. They're all polite. I've not had any real difficult people at all, apart from one. You know who you are. So yeah, everyone's just so great. And do you know what I think? Because I think I sort of attract your guy who likes the sort of nerdy details, but also likes to just ride his bike, you know. Someone who does just like to go out and ride his bike, isn't always thinking of, you know, the 10,000 mile journey, or, you know, just, you know, tighten his bike up with every part in the catalogue. I think the guys that sort of attracted to mine are riders, people that do use their bikes. Look at this, guys, look at that. Come on, come on. How's this today for an Africa Twin adventure? We're going to do the walk around here somewhere, because it's absolutely breathtaking. So big thanks to Doble Honda again for spoiling me rotten. Jay gave me a good walk around. The poor guy was speaking to me for about 15 minutes earlier on, because we were trying to just figure out the spec list of an Africa Twin. It's not the yeah, it takes getting your head around what you can and can't have with different configurations. But yeah, once you know, it's not mind-bending. Look at this guy for a bit of a switchback, eh? You wouldn't believe we're about 20 minutes, half an hour from Croydon, would you? You just wouldn't believe it. I want to pull over somewhere nice, so you've got a nice backdrop while I bore the life out of you. On this bike, what I want to do is I just want to go left here where this little stake is and then just absolutely nail it off-road, but it's not my motorcycle, unfortunately, and apart from that, that's highly illegal, so yes. I feel a little bit like Ali G when he sees a cow when he's outside of Staines. What the hell is that? Yeah, we don't get many of those where I live. Well, not the animal variety anyway. Be comfortable. The bars are high enough. The clutch is light, not as light as some other Hondas, but still perfectly light. Box Hill, here we come. Very confidence inspiring. Does this amazing trick of being firm and soft at the same time. But you love it when people open their and close their doors like they're on their drive, but they'll do it on like a main road. They just throw their door open. It's me having a little moan. They can't all be great. Quick shift, quick shift, quick shift, quick shift. Oh yeah. I think I should get some camo. I had a pair of camo shorts once and the good lady threw them away. I wasn't allowed them. So yeah, I'm officially banned from having camo. Which is disappointing. Yeah, so we're going to go to Riker's Cafe. If you're around this area, you'll know Riker's Cafe, especially if you've got a bike. I might be able to talk someone into becoming another subscriber. If I talk to him for 3 hours to the point he's got no choice. It's on a Suzuki Gladius. You know what? They are great bikes, Suzuki Gladiuses. Gladii. It's a bit Alan Partridge, that, isn't it? Is it Gladius or Gladii? But they are great bikes. Amazingly smooth. There we go. Yes, it's extremely quiet today, but there you go. Right, so I think it's probably a good time to have a good wander round. It's nice and quiet here in Box Hill today, or Riker's Cafe, as all of you motorcyclists will know it as. So yes, she's a brand spanker, 25 plate. I love the red and black, with a matte black as well. I just think it looks the business. I love the way the spokes as well come all the way towards the end of the rim as well. As I say, these don't have any inner tubes anymore, which is a major plus point, so you can repair them yourself out on the trail or out on the road. I've got one of those cheap kits you can get from Amazon that you can put one of those tyre beads in just to get you on your way. Yes, it looks amazing in black, I must say. I love the black bars. I really do like that a lot. Yes, with the red subframe there, it's really cool. Say black swing arm. It'd be interesting to see what that looks like after a while if you do a bit of off-roading. If you get a lot of stone chips on there and you see a little bit of silver coming through, maybe, I don't know, but there you go, quick shifter on this one, which is great, 250 quid option, which is a bargain and is a must-have, to be honest. Yes, even the top yoke's all black as well. That does look great. It does look great. So here you go as well. Yeah, again, the welds here are a little bit rough around the edges, but the rest of them are really nice, actually. As you can see around here. All really good. I was having a little bit of a moan about the Hornet 1000 and the welds on that, but yeah, these aren't like that. As I say, they have really been beefed up on the rear carrier here. But as I say, you can add all panniers and all that good stuff. They fit into this locking system here, which is a really clever system. I even like the embroidered Africa Twin part on the seat there. That's really cool. So yeah, there are options for an aftermarket exhaust system if you wanted to go that route, as the Americans would say, but we call it route. Yeah, so the welds are nicer on that one. On the CB1000, it was a big old dirty slug trail on there, which I wasn't a major fan of. But as I say, that's a what, £8,999 bike. So yeah, there are going to be trade-offs there. It's a good looking thing, isn't it? It really is. See, I love the flat black with a little bit of red there, a little bit of gloss on there. It just, yeah, it's obviously twin discs at the front, Nike calipers. It's just the fit and finish really is high end. Yes, I'm a big fan, I must say. Is there anything cosmetically I don't like? You can get a bigger screen. I would go for a bigger screen, I think. Handguards I'd go for. Well, they actually don't feel too bad. They feel a little bit flimsy. I probably want something a little bit butcher on there for the handguard sides. And I probably would go for the engine guards and all that good stuff as well, because I would do a little bit of green laning. But at the same time, I don't want to make the bike too heavy. It's 240 odd kilos already, so you start adding scaffolding to it, it gets a little bit heavy. So let's have a look at the clocks then, shall we? Alright, it takes a second to boot up. So we've got touchscreen here, but you're not going to be using the touchscreen as you go along. So yeah, these are all your ABS modes, your anti-wheelie and traction control modes, which is all good. You can change the tour mode as well. Hold on. It's a little bit slow. Tour, user 2, user 1. You can set these up for yourself. Off-road mode. So I suppose that helps with ABS not sort of kicking in and traction control not kicking in the same way. Same with gravel. I mean, obviously we won't be using these modes today. Urban, I think it's a little bit more sort of user-friendly with the throttle and probably fueling as well. And tour mode, which is what we've kept it on. I did switch between urban and tour on here. I didn't feel a great deal difference. The throttle response was a little bit slacker on the urban. And gravel and off-road, to be honest, we're not going to be able to do much with those today because we won't be doing any off-roading. So yeah, we haven't got tons and tons to go through, but as you say, we've got the cruise control here, which is handy. If you had a DCT bike, this is where you have all the DCT info. So yes, it's as I say, it takes a while to get used to here, but also with this bike, it's real sort of USPs. You can have Apple CarPlay or Android on here as well. So yeah, to have Apple CarPlay is a bit of a game changer, to be honest. I think that's a fantastic thing to be able to have. So yeah, I'm glad I remembered to mention that to you guys, because yeah, I mean, it feels like you're on a Goldwing having Apple CarPlay. I mean, that's a game changer. So yes, my first thoughts. Oh, I even like the black tubes there for the fork legs. I think this one's all, yeah, blacked out at all. I would go for radiator guards in there as well. You can get aftermarket radiator guards. I definitely would have those. But yeah, I like the running lights. As you can see here, they're probably strobing, I can see on the camera. So yeah, that's just a bit of an overview on it. So let's have a little bit of a walk around Rikers and see what else is here, and then jump back on the bike and give it another thorough once over. Really cool BSA Gold Star here. I really like that. That is really nice. So we're inside Riker's Cafe now. They do all sorts of foods and drinks and whatever else you'd want here. So yeah, that looks great. BSA Gold Star. So yeah, a really cool place. So yeah, if you're in the area, it's a bit of a biker's hotspot, to say the least. Very well known. So yeah, get yourself down here. A little bit miserable out there today, but there you go. Alright, let's get something to drink, have a walk around the car park, and then jump on. So you've just had a quick something to drink in Rikers. So what have we got around here? Well, we've got an old K2, K3 GSXR 600, blue and white. It's been a while since I've seen one of those. I've probably sold 100 of these over the years. Very good seller. Yeah, K3. Try and find one that hasn't had a hard life. That is your ultimate rag 600 bike. So yeah, trying to find a good one of those is hard graft, to say the least. So we've got another Africa Twin there, which is nice. Got another CB1000 there. Quite like those actually, the single-sided swing arm. Hornet 750. Here we've got the GSX 1000S and an NC 750. Oh, and the new, is that what's that, Keyway? Keyway, yeah. Alright, okie doke. Oh, so, when I was on the Triumph Explorer Tiger 1200, I was leant over to the left here and I looked slightly down slope left, and the seat's quite wide, and then when you want to move the bike up, it was an absolute pig. I had to have about sort of 2 attempts at it, where this was nice and simple, which was good. Alright, enough of my waffle. We'll go out that way, shall we? On the anchors, oh, the brakes are good. Bike, shot and calf, 3 mile. Ooh, she's a little bit grizzly there. Big grizzly bear. Oh, this is amazing. Someone's been doing a rolling burnout, very naughty, especially in such a lovely area. And again, that's a shame. And again, and there'll be the same guy going, oh, my bike's broken down, the clutch has gone on it, I don't know why. God, my bike does drink a lot of water nowadays and drinks a lot of oil as well. I have no idea why. Oh my word, she handles like an absolute dreamboat. Right, we're really going over this bump as well. Look at this little switchy back. Captain Switchy back. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen one of those. It's the old Streetwise, isn't it? MG Rover Streetwise. God, he done well keeping that going. Oh, I'm going to have to bring the good lady up here. I'm going to have to keep it a secret that I've been up here already today. If she asks where I've been, oh, I've been in West Croydon, but oh, it was horrible. I had the worst time of my life. It was dreadful. She hates knowing I'm having a good time. She likes to be miserable. Oh, here we go. That's cool. Alright, I'm going to go full Ewan McGregor. Oh, yeah. That's Enduro Adventure style Positione. I'd love to go off-road there as well. So we'll keep it on terra firma. Maybe Honda will want to lend me a bike to do some Enduro-esque stuff on local green lanes. If so, Honda, feel free to contact me. Oh, look at this steakhouse. That is a good looking caravan park, in fairness. Not that I know anything about caravan parks, but it's such a lovely area. So how is my derriere on this very firm seat? Well, thank you for asking. It is a bit firm, the seat. Got a good few miles on the bike now. I would like to have a go on an electric suspension bike, I must say, just to compare the two. I mean, I've ridden the older version, which was fantastic, but yeah, I would like to have a go. It's a 1,500 quid option. Is it worth it? Well, I can't really tell you at the minute. I'm perfectly happy with the suspension on here at the moment. I've had many adventure bikes. I've owned and I've sold many. Obviously I buy and sell a lot of motorcycles, but I've ridden a lot and I really do like this. This really is a great bike. What I like about, especially this one, the one we've got here today, is just the lack of bells and whistles. Just an adventure bike with a quick shifter, that's all. That's your only add-on there. 250 quid's worth of quick shift. That's it. So yeah, I think this is the thinking man's Africa Twin, actually. I really like the brake lever feeling for the front as well. It's a very firm, and it's straight away you get an action. There's no slack, oh, and then loads of brakes. It's straight off the bat, which I like. And again, fueling fantastic on this bike. It's not snatchy, it's very smooth, very predictable. turns in pretty well. I'm sure the bike with the 19-inch front probably turns in a little bit better. Alright, we're going to give it a bit of beanage down here. A bit of Mr. Beanage. That torque, that low down grunt just gets you going. That's what I love. I love low down torque. I've had many Bill XB12s and they just go. You can really make progress on this easily as well. Right, train tracks, they always give your derriere a bit of a punishment. Look at that, I didn't even feel it going over them. Stabbed Rat springs to mind. A lot of different type of roads, and I must say I'm a big fan of this bike. I mean, as you probably know, I did a DCT version, as I said, as I started this video, but I wasn't really concentrating on the bike. It was really more the DCT box, because I hadn't ridden one before. So it's nice to be on a bike, a brand new Africa Twin, one that I can really give you a real sort of clue about. And I've had a lot of bikes, and this is by far one of my sort of favourite adventure style bikes, that's for sure. See, a friend of mine has a KTM 790, the R version, the adventure R version rather. It's a fantastic bike. That feels like I've ridden that bike and it does feel a little bit like this, but this just feels, and that sounds silly, a little bit more grown up, you know, not so sort of rough edge, where that bike really is an absolute off-road beast. But road manners are nowhere near as good as this, so that's the trade-off there, right? You can make really good progress very quickly on this bike. Right, so thoughts of motorway riding. Well, it's very windy today, so I'm getting more sort of wind in my chest than I am actually in my head. So yeah, the screen's obviously doing the job for missing over my head, but my chest seems to be getting battered a little bit. I hear a little bit of road noise off these sort of tyres as well, but perfectly stable, perfectly comfortable. The great thing is you can just sit in sixth, and then when you need to give it a bit of throttle, you're just gone. Don't need to drop a gear. No, 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 sir. Yeah, so it's perfectly comfortable there. It's very windy today, so I was getting blustered a little bit, but as I say, on my chest, not really on my head at all, which is kind of weird. So it's obviously the screen is obviously coming through the sides here, so you could probably get wind deflectors either side there to stop that, but it wasn't bad. Obviously I'm here to pick fault as well. As I say, guys, I've had a great day today. I've gone all sorts of roads on this bike and I have adored it. My only negatives are really the seat again, you know. That's my biggest complaint. As I say, I've been on the bike a good couple of hours all over that now, and yes, the seat could do with being a little bit more comfortable, as the French would say. But if we go full enduro, look at that. You could really do a lot of dusty trails like this, and it makes you feel like a proper adventurer when you do that as well. Yeah, so in summary, would I purchase an Africa Twin? Yes, I would. But what one would I go for? Do you know what? I think this model today, as I said, I thought it was going to be the thinking man's choice, and I really think it is. You know, it's a good few £1,000s cheaper than the ES model as well, but I would have to try out the electronic suspension first before I'd say nay to that. Or exactly the same as this without electronic suspension, so either one. So yeah, I would, yeah, ES, I like the idea of that, you know, for a touring bike and whatever else, but yeah, I think for me this is where I would go, because I do a little bit of enduro and a little bit of green laning off-road stuff. So in summary, that's what I'd go for. Had massive fun, guys, as always. Please like, please subscribe. As I say, I get a bit excited about having new subscribers. It just lets me know that, you know, people are interested in this sort of content. So if they are, I'll keep making it. So what would you like me to test ride next? Well, get yourself on doble.co.uk, have a look at their new bikes. If they've got a demo for one of their new bikes, I'll test ride that. Check their used bikes as well. They've got a great selection of used bikes, all top quality stuff. It goes through a very laborious check over before any bike meets their showroom floor, so they have to be of a very high degree. So yeah, anything there you like, then let me know and I'll take it for a ride. There are a couple of ideas I've got in the pipeline for bikes, but yeah, I'd like to know what you want to see, you know. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, and I will look forward to seeing you again on the next video.